Hey, MOMnation. Welcome to our From the Heart podcast, where we share inspirational stories, useful information, and we discuss a wide variety of women-related topics. While you're listening to this episode on your favorite podcast platform, please subscribe to our channel and rate us so that we can get this information out to the moms that need to hear it. If you'd like to join the conversation, we are at MOMnation USA. That's our handle on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. This is Ryan Gilliam, Senior Mortgage Banker with Waterstone Mortgage. If you're looking to buy a new home or even refinance a current one, I'm able to help you find the best program and interest rate that fits your specific needs. You could call me anytime directly at phone number 480-635-3035 if you have any mortgage questions or if you're ready to get pre-approved for a new home purchase. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? We are back with another episode of From the Heart, and I am always really excited for these episodes. But today, where's the tissue? I'm going to cry because today is so extra special. And this summer was a very emotional summer, wasn't it, ladies?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So these are the ladies, for those of you who may not know, over the summer, we did a giant giveaway, and we had teamed up with the Smile Movement. So MOMnation and the Smile Movement teamed up. And we were going to gift one lucky lady a new smile. We all go through things in life that may affect our smile, health issues, things like that. And we wanted to give back. And so we got so many submissions that the Smile Movement said, I can't pick just one. Let's pick three. And so here are the three lucky ladies that were chosen this summer to get their smile redone. I don't know. What's the right word for that, guys?
Smile makeover.
Yes, the smile makeover. Absolutely. So, Rachel, let's start with your story. If you don't mind, just sharing like a couple of quick little details about why you entered the Smile Movement giveaway.
Well, I haven't had front top teeth for over 10 years. When I think I got them pulled when I was like 23, 24. So I had really bad, I think kind of like Nykky, we had really bad vomiting throughout our pregnancies. And that really, really destroyed teeth. And then I also, I didn't find out that this was the cause till recently, but I'd also just vomit. I have vomiting episodes out of nowhere. And I'd been through multiple tests and we figured out it's a trauma response. So I'd been through quite a few domestic violence situations and things like that. And so anything that's remotely like it, or that is a reminder of it, or if I had to go to any type of court proceedings or order protection things, it would definitely trigger a vomiting episode. And so it kind of it further destroyed my other teeth. So yeah, and obviously weakened that whole stuff. So it was when I would go to my kids' functions or help out and volunteer, especially since it's my front teeth, it's an automatic, oh my God, what's wrong with you? You must have been a druggie, or you must have been that. And my response kind of is, well, even if I was, why are you treating me that way? Right. You shouldn't treat somebody that way if they're literally making, volunteering at a blood drive or, making balloon animals for your kids. Obviously, they're not doing something like that right now. Right. An automatic thing. And my thing is like, well, of course I'm not, but why would you treat somebody different, even if that's how they were, but it could be, then my kids would get made fun of, or, oh, well, your mom, doesn't have any teeth. So, and obviously too, if I'd go to when I am able to do work, going and applying, they treat you differently for the job. So, cause you're not presentable. So I really wanted to, for multiple different reasons. And then of course my self-confidence, have front teeth back, have my smile back, not, actually look closer to my age instead of a lot older.
So it affected a lot of areas of your life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, even eating, I can't, I couldn't eat like
Right.
corn.
Even physical things. Yeah, absolutely. So when you saw this giveaway, what was going through your head?
I honestly really, really debated on even entering. I was like, there's no way they'd pick me. Because I also figured there were so many people that were way more worthy and deserving than me. But my family really encouraged me. They're like, it's not gonna hurt you to enter. Worst case, even my counselor, because I obviously still get counseling for the trauma. She's like, it doesn't hurt you to enter. Worst case is you don't get picked. And all of them told me though, like, we really think that you will, obviously trying to encourage it because they're like, you do so much for everybody and you just really deserve it. So I know I did that 2-minute video, like, I think 20 times before I finally submitted it. And then was like, yeah, but it's never going to happen. So, but it's out there. I've done it. I can say I did it. So yeah, it was really everybody else encouraging me, going like, no, you are worthy to get it. You do deserve it. So
you did it. I love that you have that support system on your side.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's something that we definitely all need. Amy, how about you? What was your reason for entering?
First of all, oh, my heart, Rachel.
I know.
Sorry. I've just gotten to know these mamas because of this process, and their stories are just so beautiful and touching, and I feel like we're actually sisters.
Oh. Oop, you muted.
Oh.
Whoopsie. All we heard was, I feel like we're actually sisters, which I can totally see that. I see your interaction together and it's very sweet.
So for me, I have an autoimmune deficiency, and with time, just my teeth would I'd just be walking and they would just chip off or break off, and they were all blackened with decay. And no matter how many times I brushed my teeth, no matter how many times I did any kind of treatment, it just wasn't going to work. My teeth were just going to fall out. And I had a girl that I knew. That's in MOMnation. She reached out and she's like, hey, your teeth are really messed up. You should enter this contest. And I was kind of offended because I didn't even know about the contest. And I was like, what are you talking about? But I would get that all the time. I would have people go, hey, there's this going on. You should do it. You're ugly. You should try this.
Aww.
And so it kind of like was just one of those things, but I knew her heart wasn't, evil. So I was like, okay, let me find out what this contest is all about. And I kept, like Rachel, I kept doing the video over and over because I was like, I don't want to sound cheesy and I don't want to sound needy, but it is something I need.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, so does so many other people. And I thought, what makes me worthy enough to be that person?
Mm-hmm.
And I was not going to cry today.
Rachel started it.
And I entered it, and I didn't know comedy is all I know, like, to keep from being broken.
Yeah.
I laughed. And so in the video, I was just like, hey, I need teeth, like false teeth, but not like my grandma's teeth. I was like, not that she's not a person, but, I don't remember all that. But I was just like, I'm done. I have to send it. I was like, if not, I'm going to keep doing it over and over. And so I sent it, and then you tricked me. And
well, we'll get into that. So
that's why I entered, though.
And when you knew, so your friend told you about the giveaway, and
Correct.
You were like, I'm going to give it a whirl, but you didn't have any expectations about it.
No, I actually entered it because even though she was being nice, it kind of made me angry that somebody would even suggest it. So I was just like, okay, fine, I'm going to enter it just to prove I'm not going to win. And then I started doing the video, and then I couldn't finish. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this really matters to me. Like, I was just going to do it to spite her, kind of. And then it really mattered. And then I kept doing the video over and over, and then I kept getting emotional. And I was like, you know what? We're done. I'm just going to be funny and just throw it out there and just be done. And I didn't even watch the repeat. I just sent it. And I was like, that's a take. 100 were done, and I sent it, and then I didn't expect anything, honestly.
Oh, well, I'm glad to know what happened next. How about you, Nykky? What was your reason for entering? Whoop, you're still muted. See if that works. There you go.
Did I do? Okay, I was like, it didn't have the option. Okay. I was already trying not to cry,
I
but
know.
I had like my own self-confidence issues that affected the front, but I felt guilty because I thought a lot of people look at my front teeth, or not now, they're kind of pretty now, halfway.
They're very
But
pretty now.
before they'd be like, well, your teeth are pretty. And I'm like, that's because I don't show you. And I had no back teeth is the thing. Like I literally only had what you could see, and they were starting to come out. I had one missing here. I had the decay. So like I could only smile like that because the decay was starting, but I couldn't eat, like Rachael said. I had no back teeth. So like when I did eat, it was on those front teeth. And so I couldn't do steak. I couldn't do anything remotely chewy. If it was like chips, I would get stabbed and have woo. It was like I couldn't enjoy food, and I'm a
Aw.
foodie. And so it was hard, and I felt guilty putting in my video because I know that there are people who I felt were more deserving. And I was actually tagged. The way I found out about it was I was tagged in it, multiple people, because I had posted on MOMnation, like a week or two before,
Yeah.
about how I'll do anything to earn money because I was quoted so much money to fix for partial dentures. Okay. And I was like, that I was going to have my grandma's teeth. Okay. I was not ready for that. And I was like, what the heck? So in my video, I needed to show, because like I said, the front teeth didn't look that bad from when you just look at it, and I sent the video with like the pictures of what my smile used to be and what it turned into. And that was really my, like, that's what I am most confident in was my smile. And it just fell apart. And so I like stopped caring for myself totally. I don't do my makeup to get all dolled up. I don't feel pretty because I can't show what I felt was pretty about me. And so I just lost all of me. And that was my reason. I mean, being sick all the time during pregnancy, definitely, I puked a whole tooth out. I pulled out
Jeez.
teeth in front of my kids, like pieces of teeth that were like falling out. And it's like, it was less painful to rip that thing out yourself than to sit there and let it just be broken.
Yeah.
And it, no matter what I did, I took care of my teeth. I went to the dentist. I got root canals done that still they ripped out because they were not worth saving. So that was my why. My kids would be like, Mom, you have something in your teeth. And I'm like, no, babe, that's my tooth. Like, that's my tooth. I'm sorry. I'm no, so I didn't ever want to smile in pictures with them. I felt they were embarrassed. So it was hard.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that. Back to Rachael. So tell me how things were for you after you had entered. Tell me what happened after that. So you kind of just threw caution into the wind. You figured, hey, heck with it. I'm going to enter and see what happens. And then did you kind of forget about it? Because you didn't have expectations of winning either. So take us through what kind of happened after that and how you felt.
I definitely didn't forget about it. Like it was in the corner of my mind, but I was just like, following the different things, obviously with MOMnation talking about it, going like, yeah, I hope, because I'm still going to put it out there. Like I'm hoping,
Yeah.
But like when, I don't know, am I supposed to say this now? When you said about, a couple of forms and like the the forms. And I was just like, okay, well, that makes sense. But I didn't think anything of it. It's just like, okay, so she needs forms from everybody. And so then, of course, my thing that I've learned with all my kids, special needs and doctors, it's like, well, I can just email that to you. Just send it on over. We can get it done. It's quicker. We don't have to worry about meeting up. And then they're like, well, a selfie.
Yeah, I had to think on my toes. I'm like, shoot, she's smart. I got to think of something else.
So I'm like, well, I guess that makes sense. Like, because for MOMnation, they want, the different people to like, have their story or whatever. So I still wasn't any to the wiser, to be honest. Like, if I had really thought I was worthy of it, I probably would have like caught on. But to me, I'm just going like, okay, this makes sense, but I'm still not. It's not me.
Katie's a weirdo kind of stuff.
following along with the procedures for me to not do this thing, so that was kind of where I was at. It's just like, okay, I'm just following the steps, but that's kind of just, that's it.
So we make the appointment. You're thinking I'm a little bit of a weirdo with I mean, you had reason to. So, I'm not offended. So set the stage for us on the day. So that day that we were supposed to meet up, you gave me a location to meet with you. I was supposed to get the selfie and all of that. Then I knocked at the door, and then what?
Well, I thought it was weird that you had a camera dude with you. Like, it kind of made because of selfie, but I'm like, really, a camera dude? Couldn't we just do it with our phone?
Yeah, right. Like, go big or go home.
So I really didn't think that. That's kind of what I was just thinking was, well, that's really weird. Cause I mean, I even told them, like, once everything happened, I was like, I would have dressed so much better. Cause I just wore my Stay Positive, like, Peace and Humane Society Stay Positive shirt with like my skirt, no makeup or anything. Cause it's like, well, it's just a selfie for a mom group. Like, I'm a mom. I look like a mom, it's fine. And you're saying about going over the story a bit more, and I'm like, okay, so that kind of makes sense for a camera guy to be here to get the story. Like, okay, I can get that. And then honestly, when even the van pulled up, I thought it was Amazon for my parents. I was like, oh, Amazon package. Okay, my parents must have ordered something, because I mean, it looked like one of those big Amazon things. So when we started talking again, I didn't even think anything. I'm like, okay, so we're going to our car to get the papers that I need to sign. Okay, and then then obviously the Amazon truck opened and it wasn't Amazon. So
what was going through your mind at that time? Like, you were obviously surprised. I was there, so I know.
No, I know. Everyone's like, did you know? I'm like, no, I would have dressed better. I think I was in shock.
Yeah.
Like I said, I thought it was an Amazon truck, and all of a sudden it opened and there was balloons, and it was kind of like, wait a minute, what's actually happening here? I won, but I couldn't have won. So like, how is this even happening? So it was shock. It was, again, I don't know how on earth, it could be me. I was just supposed to be getting a selfie today. Yeah, I don't just.
You're still in shock.
I am. I'm still.
Yeah, I can see it.
Work done. I'm still like, how on earth was this me? So I'm so thankful. I mean, I know, like, still don't have him, but even just seeing like the difference with the work that's been done, I'm still in pain from it.
Yeah.
But I know it's gonna make a huge difference for me and my kids, and yeah, I just.
Oh, and being the person to have surprised you in that moment was equally as emotional for me. So thank you for that, and thank you for allowing me to share that moment with you. That was a big giant moment for me. Also, it just to be able to change somebody's life, or to obviously I'm not the one doing the dental work, but to be able to partake in changing somebody's life is really life-changing for yourself. So thank you for allowing me to do that and sharing that moment with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll never forget it.
Thank you for doing it. I am forever thankful and grateful to you.
Oh,
for this.
You're so welcome. Amy, same question. Take us through the moment after you put the submission in. You're thinking, you know what? It's not going to be me. Whatever. I did this thing. I can say that I did it. Take me through that process up until the time where I surprised you.
Okay, so I submitted and I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. I had some friends of mine who said, hey, if this doesn't work out, we're going to help you do a GoFundMe so you can, get this done, because you're performing all the time, and we're tired of seeing you cry when adults make fun of you.
Yeah.
And then we had our we kept trying to schedule our podcast.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, let's do it. Where's your favorite place to eat? I told you Cracker Barrel. He said, okay, let's set it up. And I show up and Joey's there, the videographer. And you're like, oh, we're going to record the podcast today, which is something I absolutely was not. I mean, I was fine with it. I was absolutely, that's how it goes.
Well, that's your thing. That's your thing.
My thing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a clue to me. And my son was with us and he whispered, he said, oh, I thought you were going to get your teeth. He's like, oh, well, are you disappointed? I said, no, baby, this is what we do. That wasn't a thing. That wasn't even on the table. And he's like, well, I hoped. And I was like, and it broke my heart for him because I thought, oh, I didn't win. But he was more disappointed than I was because I had no expectation. He had more hope for me than I did.
Oh.
Because he was tired of seeing even his friends, he's in high school, of having his friends go, oh, your mom's a crackhead. Like literally, they'd be like, Miss Amy, what kind of drugs did you do? Why are your teeth so black?
Oh.
And I'm like, no. And on top of that, we were homeless. So I really looked like a homeless person, which is nothing wrong. I mean, everybody has their own situation, but it just, for me, it was hard to deal with. It was so hard to deal with. So we go in and you order the table and they were ready right away.
I was too quick. I was like, oh, shoot. That messes up my plan.
You just turned around and looked at me and went, wait, let's just film an intro outside. I was like, okay, that's kind of random, but okay. That's, it's your podcast. Let's go. Let's do it. And I walked outside and Dr. Kent and his whole family was there. Dana, everybody was there. And I was still kind of oblivious to what was going on. And you were introducing me and they were telling me what was going on. And my son was smiling so big. He was just like holding onto my arm, just like this was the best thing. And I was still kind of like taken back. I didn't cry. I was just kind of like, I don't really know what's happening. And then I think, what did I say? So we're not doing the podcast?
Yeah. Yeah. And there were even other people, you guys know how Cracker Barrel's set up. There's like these big, I think they're called Adirondack style rockers out in the front, right? And so there are other people there waiting to get a table at the restaurant that were participating. It's hilarious.
That's how I was so confused at what we were doing. I was like, wait, did I really win or this is part of the podcast?
Yeah. Yeah. She was thoroughly confused.
I was so confused. And the sweetest moment is when Dr. Kent's little girl, she was so precious. She said, you're going to be so beautiful now.
Oh.
And it just, that's when it hit me. This is real.
Yeah.
And it just, from that moment on, it's just been, I mean,
it's just been amazing. Amazing things have been happening in your life. So obviously I follow you. I follow all three of you. And I'm kind of like checking in and checking you guys out every once in a while to see what's going on, get my updates and whatnot. And I have seen such amazing things happen for you, Amy, in the last ever since we did the surprise. And I'm not saying it's tied to that by any means, because obviously you are the fuel to the fire, but some very amazing things have happened for you. And I'm so proud.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been an adrenaline rush. And I get to lose weight because I'm on smoothies and soft foods.
Bonus.
So it was a double gift. I kind of joked to Dr. Kent the first day. I said, wow, you're gonna fix my face and force me to lose weight? Thank you.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep.
Twist my arm.
I know, right? So it was great. It was and you're right, things have been happening, and I think the exterior had to happen because the interior was so broken.
Yeah.
More than my broken teeth, I was broken in my spirit and my soul, and that it kind of fixed everything all the way around, if that makes sense at all.
Confidence is everything, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Nykky, how about you? So you entered, you thought to yourself, it's probably not going to be me, but I did this thing. What were you thinking and what happened after that?
Well, I definitely didn't think I was going to win. I knew there was a lot of people, and then there was like a problem with my video submission at the end, and it was like, oh no. And there was a panic, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm definitely not going to win. Like I thought the world was over because I was like, I need this. And I was very I don't know. I was very gullible, let's say that, because Katie has been my realtor a few times here. And I have land, and our land, when you have land, you have in private roads, you don't really have like the jurisdiction of like, hey, like this person's putting a fence on my property or in my way. That's like, they don't do anything. It's a lawsuit right away. And so it's really bummer. But I've been dealing with this neighbor who decided to put a fence like 2 feet from the center of our road, not even like their easement is supposed to be 16 feet. And so I've been complaining to Katie about it and asking her for all the right planning documents and everything I needed right from the buy of our property. And so when you called me and said that you needed to set up an appointment to come check out this fence because I had just been bugging nonstop, I was like, yes, please. Like, please come help me. And, I was like, and so that made sense. And then when she came to do that, and I'm like, okay, you got to be here by this time. I have a baby shower from my sister-in-law that I was hosting. And I'm like, I got to go. So I luckily was done up because I'm never done up, but I had somewhere to be like shortly after, right? Very lucky to be in face and stuff. Sorry, I have kids in the car. They're a little loud, but
it's okay.
It was definitely a surprise because as we're walking to go see, well, then when Joey was there, I'm like, well, maybe it makes sense because she does a lot of podcasts. Maybe she wants to do something about like private roads and the property line. And so I thought maybe it made sense, right? Like, okay. And so then when we're walking out and when the van, because we have a dirt road that it's only a one-way road, like it ends in my driveway, you guys. So if someone's coming down that road and it's not my neighbor, I'm like, who's that? And so we're walking out to the fence, right? And I'm looking and Katie's like, oh, who's that? And I'm like, well, I don't know. This is this ends in my yard. Like, still when they were pulling up and then they get out of the car. And that's when like it hit me because there they are with the balloons. And I was definitely in shock. I'll say that. I thought for sure, I'm like, okay, no fence. Like, this is much better than the fence. So who cares about the fence?
Yeah.
So I genuinely was surprised. I thought that it all made sense up till. So you had me there. I was shocked. And I know my whole family, my daughter has been coming to me with my appointments here lately. And she's so excited for me. Like every time she sees me, she's like, Mom, let me see. And so it's special to me. And yesterday I got my permanents on the top.
They're gorgeous.
It has been beyond anything I could ever give myself. And I just couldn't have done this without that opportunity in MOMnation. So Katie, gosh, I like from the bottom of my heart, I am just beyond words grateful to you and to Lisa who helped you get this started with Dr. Kent. Like, gosh, like my heart, just thank you.
You're so welcome. That was, and for all of you, it was so awesome to share your moment with you. Yours, Nykky, was so heartfelt. You hug hard, by the way. She gave me this big old hug and I'm like, shoot, she's been eating her Wheaties. But it was really heartfelt. I could feel the shock. I could feel the relief for you. And then when we went back to your place and your husband was there and your kiddos were there and your husband got teary too, it was just like such an incredible moment. So thank you for letting me share that with you. Aw, I love you guys. Last question. Then we'll go back to Rachael since that's who we're starting with. She gets to start us off every single time. How's this going to change your life, my friend?
Oh, that is a loaded question. Well, like I said, it would obviously be better so my kids don't get made fun of for how their mom looks. Which I think is one way that Amy and I have kind of bonded a bit, is we both understand that one.
Mm-hmm.
Other things, but definitely I wanted to help advocate more for domestic violence awareness. And I wanted to I already volunteer a lot, but like be like more vocal about like the different things that I'm volunteering for, and it'll definitely help give me that confidence to do it. Because otherwise, and honestly, as bad as it sounds, it would give me more voice because people are going to take me more seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But in a way, I kind of want to also advocate for that as well, that people don't automatically like write you off for that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good, hardworking, caring people that might be missing some for whatever reason in their life, and they're automatically written off. And a lot of them are just really, really great people. And actually, with me going to a couple of anime conventions as of late, and I still didn't have my teeth yet, and I was really, really like quiet and trying to not talk, but there was a couple of times where I did, and I actually ran into quite a few that kind of like me, just had something wrong, and they would tell me how beautiful I am, because they could tell that I kind of like be like just hiding my smile a bit. And one of the things I do when I'm at those things is another one that is really important to me is mental health awareness, suicide awareness.
Yes.
In fact, I lost who I considered my soul sister back in 2020.
I'm
And one of the things I do is at my table, I have mental health cards that show the signs and the pins that say warrior, your story matters, you've got this. And I give them away. Like, and people are like, wait a minute, these are free. I'm like, yes, take as many as you want. They're like, no. I'm like, seriously, take one of each, take more than one of each. And I've had so many come up to me and say how much that means to them, because they've just never seen that before, somebody to actually like have that out and just available to them. Even crisis counselors are like, wow, what? And I'm like, well, it's really important to me. There's just too many people, I mean, even depression from the teeth, like yeah, I never got to that exact spot, but it's a possible thing. I honestly think that at some point in someone's life, even if for a split second, that thought's probably gone through their mind at least once.
Mm-hmm.
If even if I've only helped out one person from doing all that, that one life truly matters that much to have done all that. I mean, even with you doing this for me, it's different than the suicide, but it matters so much. I know you had so many moms that wanted help, but I know that us three, it's really, really mattered and changed our lives. So
Yeah,
I get
absolutely.
more for that.
Oh, well, thank you so much for giving back to the community like you do, and for helping others that are in a spot where they need a little bit of uplifting and they need, somebody smiling in their life, right? So now you get to be that one, you get to be that voice. And, I totally understand what you mean about people who quickly judge a book by its cover, and that's just not fair. And I think that a lot of people, if they haven't been through it, or they don't know somebody who might have had health issues that have impacted their smile, they just jump to the negative. And I think that's really sad too. So thank you for being a voice for that, and advocating for those people. I think it's real important.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. All right, Amy, same question. How's this going to change your life, friend?
So, how's it going to change? It's going to continue to change. Wow, that's such a good question. I First of all, thank you, Rachael, because Rachael's been there for me when I've had a couple of meltdowns.
Oh.
And I wouldn't have had the opportunity to hear what a beautiful soul she is if it wasn't for MOMnation, and if it wasn't for this. And Nykky, when we were in the dentist together, gave me the biggest hug. You're right about the hugs. I thought I broke a rib.
She's a brute.
Like, yes. And I also understand, I used to live on private property, so I understand about the car coming up. I would have been like, who's here?
Yeah.
Who do I need to shoot? But going forward, it's just been, I think for me, it's going to continue to give me a voice to let others know that you might not have the hope that you want, but there is hope out there. It's kind of like remember the Indiana Jones movie when there was this big cave or this big chasm and he had to go across, and he picked up a little bit of sand and he threw it, but before he threw it, he walked. And I feel like that's kind of what it was. We all took that leap. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know if we were going to fall in the cavern. We didn't know if we were going to fall to the bottom of the, cliff. We didn't know what was going to happen. But we took that step and we sent in our videos. And then we threw a little bit of hope out there. And then we kept walking and the bridge appeared.
Yeah.
And literally, I mean, bridges are something that we probably all have to have.
Yes, I like the reference there.
And it is still hard. I mean, all of us still have a lot of work to go, but I think that it gives us that hope to share with other people. And for me, I feel like it's given me a voice that I may have been homeless, but I wasn't hopeless. And I don't know, going forward, I just want people to know that, like Rachael said, because I have been suicidal, and that's not something that I share with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I had a guy that I was with tell me that no one could ever love me because my teeth were messed up.
Oh, geez.
And he broke up with me. So that, as an adult, goes with you hardcore.
Yeah.
Because I had a horrible divorce. And the one person I thought I was falling in love with was the one person that hurt me over the thing I was the most insecure about. I love my eye color and I have great boobs, but my teeth were horrible. So I was like, really? The one guy that doesn't notice my boobs?
Leave it to the comedian to bring us out of tears.
But I just want people to know that they're not alone. You might feel like your insecurities are the most awful thing in the world. But there's somebody out there that's hurting just as bad. And if you could just continue to this is what I want to be. At the end of my life, when I die, I want my tombstone to say, she loved, ... That just means it's continuation.
Mm-hmm.
She loved. And if I can love people more and a smile makes people feel so comfortable.
It's true.
I've lived and I've been in so many different countries where I was terrified. And if somebody smiled at me, I felt like, okay, I can survive one more day. And I feel like all three of us were able to be the beautiful souls that we are because we were afraid to smile. And so going forward, I'm just going to smile. I'm going to be like Elf and smile at everybody like, I love hugs.
Smiling's my favorite.
Smiling's my favorite.
I love that movie.
I do too. It's my favorite. I'm so Elf. But anyway, I won't take everybody's time, but that's going forward. I think that I just want to be the person that I never had. And Katie, that's what you've been for me. You've been that one bright, shining star in a world that was so dark and so alone.
Oh. Well, I'm glad, and I'm happy I could be that for you. I love you guys too. And I'm so, like I said, I've been following your story and I'm so excited every time I see a new picture. You guys are so fantastic about sharing it. And so every time I see, like, Nykky just got her permanence, and just every time I see it, I'm like, hey, they got another step done. This is so cool. So thank you for that for me, because it's equally as fulfilling to help someone as it is to be helped, right? And so thank you for allowing me to be that little teeny piece in your life. I really appreciate it. Nykky, same question, my love.
Well, for me, like I have 6 kids, right? Like, I lost me a long time ago, but I mean, my teeth went with that, and this is going to give me back, like, myself. I lost myself, and not being able to smile when I'm such a happy-go-lucky person. Like, I always want to smile, and I talk a lot. And talking like this a lot, like, I hate doing that, but I feel I do. I'll laugh, and I would laugh, or because I have a big mouth, I laugh, and my mouth's like, I covered it. I covered my mouth constantly, and I don't want that. Like, I want to be me. I want to be me, and I can't wait to be me. And like, already I'm just like, I've never smiled, like, not never. I guess, like, I have not smiled this big since I was like 19. And so to me, like, that's really big. And my bottoms aren't done yet. I only have like this many bottom teeth, but it's fine. We'll get there. But I have beautiful top plate teeth,
Yes,
and
you
they're
do.
just like, so for me, this is giving me back more than I could ever give myself. Me.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the best, because I feel like when we're full like that, when we are ourselves, then we are a better parent, right? We can guide our children in with confidence, and that instills confidence in them. So, I mean, I think it's huge as a parent and as a mom, like, no shade to the dads, but as a mom, it is so giant to be that beam of light in your child's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, really, it doesn't only affect you positively, but it's your entire family.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it, guys. I love you all. Again, please continue to share so that I can follow you. Check in with me, because I am always thinking about you guys. I can't wait to see everybody completed and finished. And once we are, we're getting a photographer, and we're going to flash our smiles all over town, and we're going to make it a big photo shoot. Fair? You guys with me?
With you, 100%.
Awesome. Well, thank you, ladies, for being here with me. Big, big love out to you and your family and your kids. And I mean, just this process, I know, has been a little long. I know it's probably not painless. So I'm so proud of you guys for being so brave and for going through that, because I know, a lot of people have dental anxiety. I know I do. So I can imagine you guys do, with going through what you've gone through. And that's really big too, to stand up to your anxiety and go through with it. Like, giant moments right there, right, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, big shout out to the Smile Movement. We couldn't have done it without you guys. So thank you so much. And then all y'all out there, if you'd like to check out any of our previous episodes, hop on over to our YouTube channel. It is MOMnation USA. That is our handle. If you prefer the podcast version, hop on over to your favorite podcast platform. Do a quick search for MOMnation Talk Radio, and you can get more stories from these girls, because actually Nykky's story has been published on our YouTube. And I'm sure the other two are to follow. I did get that from the Smile Movement about a month or so ago, Nykky. I know you know that. And so Nykky's story is over there. We have sent that through the podcast platform as well. And I hope that you guys all have a wonderful week. Thank you for being here with me. And again, big, big love. Hang in there, girls. Can't wait to see the finished product.
Bye.
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 I love you.
Bye.